The story of Lot and his daughters is one of the most controversial and perplexing tales in the Bible. Found in Genesis 19:38, it follows the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, focusing on Lot's escape with his two daughters to a cave in the mountains. Fearing the extinction of their family line, Lot's daughters intoxicate their father and engage in incestuous acts with him, resulting in the births of Moab and Ben-Ami, who become ancestors of the Moabites and Ammonites, respectively. This shocking story has provoked much debate and analysis over the centuries. Situated in the broader context of Sodom and Gomorrah's destruction, the tale emphasizes divine judgment and human frailty. God deemed these cities rife with sin and annihilated them. Lot, Abraham's nephew, lived in Sodom but maintained his righteousness, earning God's favor. His household included his wife and two daughters. One evening, two angels in the form of men visited Lot, sent by God to evaluate Sodom. Recognizing their holiness, Lot insisted they stay in his home. That night, the men of Sodom surrounded Lot's house, demanding to see his guests. Lot, in a desperate attempt to protect the angels, even offered his daughters to the mob. The angels intervened, striking the mob blind and revealing their purpose to save Lot's family from impending destruction. The angels urged Lot to gather his family and flee. At dawn, they led Lot, his wife and daughters out, instructing them not to look back. Lot's wife disobeyed and became a pillar of salt, leaving Lot and his daughters alone. Initially seeking refuge in Zoar, Lot soon grew fearful and moved his family to a cave in the mountains for greater security. Living in isolation, Lot and his daughters faced their dire situation. Fearing they were the sole survivors of humanity, the daughters grew anxious about their family line's extinction. The elder daughter devised a plan to intoxicate their father and conceive children by him. On successive nights, they implemented this plan. Both daughters became pregnant and gave birth to sons. The elder daughter named her son Moab, meaning from father the progenitor of the Moabites. The younger named her son Ben-Ami, meaning son of my people, the ancestor of the Ammonites. These nations played significant roles in the region, often interacting with Abraham's descendants. This narrative interweaves themes of survival, desperation, and moral ambiguities. The origins of the Moabites and Ammonites from this story are significant in the biblical context, as these nations frequently appear in Israel's history. Despite their contentious origins, they were part of the intricate tapestry of peoples in the ancient Near East. The story highlights the extreme lengths to which Lot's daughters went to ensure their family's survival, illustrating their desperation and isolation. Their morally troubling actions are presented within the context of their dire straits. The legacy of Moab and Ben-Ami stands as a testament to the complex interplay of survival, faith, and familial continuity in the ancient world. Therefore, the story of Lot and his daughters serves as a narrative of personal survival and a foundational account for the existence of two significant nations in biblical history. It underscores themes of divine judgment, human frailty, and the persistent quest for survival in the face of overwhelming odds. Lessons from the biblical story of Lot and his daughters. Lesson 1. Moral compromise and its repercussions. After escaping Sodom, Lot's daughters, fearing the end of their family line, resorted to desperate measures by intoxicating their father and committing incest. This act reveals the dangers of moral compromise and taking matters into our own hands rather than trusting in God's provision and timing. Lesson 2. The importance of faith and trust in God. The story illustrates the importance of maintaining faith and trust in God, even in difficult and uncertain times. Lot's daughters acted out of fear and lack of faith, leading to actions with long-term consequences. This teaches us to rely on God's guidance rather than succumbing to panic and despair. Lesson 3. The long-term consequences of actions. The actions of Lot's daughters led to the birth of Moab and Ben-Ami, who became the ancestors of the Moabites and Ammonites. These nations would later become adversaries of Israel, showing how our choices can have far-reaching effects beyond our immediate circumstances. Lesson 4. The complexity of human nature. This story reflects the complexity of human nature and the capacity for both righteousness and sin within the same individuals. It serves as a reminder of our need for continual reliance on God's grace and guidance. In summary, the story of Lot and his daughters provides a multifaceted lesson on the importance of making godly choices, the impact of our environment, the consequences of moral compromise, and the necessity of maintaining faith and trust in God.